Hi, I am Dr. Prachi Srivastava, consultant dermatologist and cosmetologist at Hormone and Skin Center, Bhopal. I am here today to talk about sunscreens. So, the first question is what? What are sunscreens? Sunscreens are cream, ointment, or lotion based products which are specifically designed to block your skin from the harmful effects of UV or ultraviolet rays. Then, why? That is the second question. Why do we need sunscreens? Because, as most of us know, UV rays are harmful. They may or may not cause malignancies per se, but the most common side effect of UV rays is pigmentation and photoaging. Photoaging is light induced aging. So, if we don't protect our skin adequately from the UV rays, our skin will age faster, color of your skin will become dull, you might get more lines and wrinkles as compared to the patients who are regularly using sunscreen, and the overall effect of your skin, the luminosity and the glow is better retained if you are using a sunscreen regularly. The second question which arises is who needs a sunscreen? There are many myths surrounding the use of sunscreens. As you have seen, the commercial advertisements for sunscreens shoot up during summers. That makes people believe that okay, I need to use sunscreen only when it is very hot outside. I don't need it in winters because it is very cold, or I don't need it when it is raining because there are no sun rays coming. No, we need a sunscreen all through the years, in all the seasons, because you may or may not see the sun because of the clouds, because of the weather, but the UV rays are definitely coming in. So a sunscreen needs to be used at all times, in all seasons, and at specific times of the day when the sun rays are particularly harmful. That is specifically between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Each and every one of us should use a sunscreen religiously, even if we are staying indoors, because we may not go out to meet the sun, but the sun definitely comes in. Even if you have a window, the UVA rays can enter even through the black shielded glass. So of course the intensity is lesser, but it's always better to use a sunscreen, right? Now, which sunscreen do we use? There's an array of sunscreens which is available in the market, in the medical store, online, and the consumer is spoiled for choice. So, coming to the basics, SPF is something we all know, the sun protection factor. It should be a minimum of 30. Above that is definitely better, but 30 is good enough. It will give you a 95 to 97% protection. But the other more important thing is something called Boost Star rating. Please try to look for it on the product box, because Boost Star rating talks about UVB, which is more harmful and more present in the sun rays as compared to UVA, which is an indicator of SPF. So a Boost Star rating of 3 and above is good. So a sunscreen should be at least an SPF of 30 with a Boost Star rating of 3 plus. Then it should say broad spectrum. If that says on the box, it's always better to buy that sunscreen. And then there are various formulations available. It can be available as cream, it can be available as gel, it can be available as lotion. So you have to decide as per your skin type, right? So usually youngsters or teenagers have an oily skin, so they should go for aqua gel or gel based sunscreens. Nowadays we do get a lot of matte finish sunscreens which are excellent, and I would suggest they suit everybody. So matte finish sunscreens are here to stay, and they are broad spectrum with a good finish. Like, they look really good when you put them on. It doesn't show that you're wearing a sunscreen. So it's always better to use a sunscreen with matte finish for all types of skin. Another question which many patients have is that whether they can use powder on top of a sunscreen. Yes, of course you can. You can definitely use whatever powder you prefer. After you put the sunscreen, wait for 5 minutes for the sunscreen to settle in. Then you can definitely use whatever powder you prefer. Now coming on to the most important question is how. how do we use a sunscreen? It is something of utmost importance to know how to use a sunscreen. It's not simply to be taken in our palms and applied like a lotion. There is a specific way to put a sunscreen that will give us the maximum efficacy. And fortunately, I have a very cute little model with me today who is going to help us and show us how to use a sunscreen. So let's see that. This is my perfect little model, my daughter Vani, and Vani is going to help us to apply the sunscreen, to let us know how to apply the sunscreen today. Okay, so the first and the foremost thing is how much of sunscreen do we take. So the rule of the thumb is to take approximately 2.5 times of a regular spoon. So for an adult like for me. So for my daughter it could be just half or 1/3 of that amount. So I am going to take it. You have to take it out on the flat of your palm like this. I hope you can see it, right? And then you're supposed to dip your finger in, take it on your finger and apply it in dots like this all over the face. Fatafat, fatafat, we are supposed to apply it in very quick motion, and you have to cover the entire face. Yes, and Vani is liking it, aren't you, Vani? Yes, and we have to cover all areas. We have to also cover the neck. It's very often an ignored part of our face, but what happens is very often we come across patients whose face looks great, it's all even toned, it's not pigmented, but the neck looks bad, right? So that is why it's very important to include the neck as well. So we're using the neck and the exposed part of the neck. Everything is covered. Now what is the next thing? We're supposed to even it out, right? So in quick motion, very quickly, we're supposed to use our finger and even it out. Do not rub it too much. We just have to spread it all over the face, and that's it. We're not rubbing it too much. We are not trying to blend it in. We are just evenly spreading it. And one important thing to look at is to avoid the corners of the eyes and the corners of the nose, as a few patients can get a little irritation in those areas. So when you first start using a new brand, or if you're starting to use sunscreen, initially it's advisable that you avoid those areas. Right, Mani? Yeah. So, now Vani is looking all done with her sunscreen, and she's looking very pretty. Yes. So this is how we have to use sunscreen. Please use sunscreen regularly, whether it is summers or winters or rain, whether it is early morning, later in the morning or afternoon, between 9 a.m. to 3 or 4 p.m. Your face should be slathered in sunscreen. It will really help you, right? So we are signing off, and we are now ready to face the sun. Yeah, Mani, give me a 5. Yeah. Bye.